Nurses have a reputation for eating their young. In today's episode, we're going to discuss why they should not do that and what they should do instead. Welcome to the Stay at Home Nurse Podcast. I'm your host, Deanna Cooper Gillingham. For over 25 years, I've strived to use my nurse credentials to find work that fit my lifestyle. Whether it was raising my 4 children and 3 fur babies, traveling the world, or moving to Mexico and living on the Caribbean Sea. Sometimes I succeeded and sometimes I failed, but I always learned from the experience. Now, I want to help you by sharing what worked and what didn't work. There are so many opportunities out there for nurses today. The Stay at Home Nurse Podcast will inspire and equip you to have a nursing career that is meaningful and supports your lifestyle. Now let's get started. Nurses have a reputation for eating their young. How can that be when we are one of the most trusted professions? We care for others, but we don't care for our own? I've met a few of these cannibal nurses, and I've heard their rationale, that nursing is not for the weak, and that they are just helping to get rid of the ones who don't have what it takes. I beg to differ. Everyone has a different learning style, but no one learns by being belittled, ridiculed, or isolated. Right now, there's a gray tsunami going on in nursing. Nurses are retiring, and there are not enough new nurses to replace them. This is due to several factors, including there are only so many spots each year in nursing schools. Not everyone who starts a nursing program finishes, and new graduates are leaving nursing and not making a career of it. When I or my family need a nurse, I want it to be a smart, compassionate nurse who is part of a team of nurses who can rely on each other at the bedside. Instead of the sink or swim, new nurses need mentors. Heck, even us old nurses need mentors. When a nurse is pulled to a new unit or starts working in another department, she needs someone she can rely on when she has a question. And computers? Us old nurses can use some mentoring around those computers. Mentoring is more than orientation and preceptorship. These focus on processes and procedures and have their place within an organization, ensuring employees are trained to fulfill their job duties. But mentorship goes beyond policies, procedures, and the job. It focuses on the whole person, their career, as well as their work-life balance. Many people think that mentoring requires a huge time commitment and decades of experience. The truth is, all that's required is a passion and a desire to help others. Being a mentor allows you to share your passion and expertise to guide others on their career path while leaving a legacy. Mentorship is built on the relationship between the mentor and the mentee and has the potential to create leaders. The best mentors see untapped potential in a colleague and help to develop that potential. They will challenge them to go outside of their comfort zone while providing encouragement, support, and direction that guides the mentee to grow into their full potential. The most successful mentor-mentee relationships occur when there is a connection between the two individuals, where the mentor truly cares about the success of the mentee and the mentee values the support of the mentor. This creates a sense of accountability to each other, making it more likely for each individual to do their part. But mentoring doesn't have to be one-on-one. In fact, there does not even have to be a personal relationship. After speaking at a conference, I was approached by a young lady who introduced herself to me as my mentee. To say I was shocked was an understatement. I had never met her before in my life, but I had noticed she had listened intently as I spoke at a conference. As we began to talk, I understood how I had been her mentor. She had followed me on social media, read my book, and was a member of my online community. Even though I had never met her, she knew me, and I had made an impact on her and her career. A short while later, there was a post in our Facebook group, Case Managers Community, a private group where case managers come to support each other. A woman posted that she had just accepted the position of Director of Case Management for her organization. She was thanking the community, stating she would have never accepted the position without the support and encouragement she received from the group. They had given her advice and direction as a new case manager. They had encouraged her to accept the interim director role. During her time as the interim director, she had sought and received guidance from the group, and now she felt prepared to accept the position as director. This encouragement did not come from any one person, but from a supportive group as a whole. The group had mentored her. This made me think of some of my mentors. Although I had many traditional mentors throughout my career, I realized I had also had mentors I had never met. These were people who I had looked up to, was inspired by, and made me think differently than I had before I quote-unquote met them. I realized they were my virtual mentors, and although I had never met them personally, they had had a tremendous impact on my career and my life. A great example of this is when I began listening to podcasts. I was inspired to start an online business after listening to 3 podcasts religiously. These were the Read to Lead podcast, hosted by Jeff Brown, Smart Passive Income, hosted by Pat Flynn, and 48 Days to the Work You Love, hosted by Dan Miller. These mentors opened my eyes to the possibility that I, too, could have a successful online business. In less than a year, they taught me more about starting a business than I could have learned in 4 years studying entrepreneurship in college. And once I started my business, they, along with others, taught me how to run and grow my business. Because of the impact podcasts have had on my life and my desire to mentor as many people as possible, I've started my own podcast, which you're listening to now. There is something special about the traditional mentor-mentee relationship, but I would like to invite you to also look at non-traditional ways to mentor and be mentored. Imagine the satisfaction in knowing that you were instrumental in ensuring that quality care is being provided by the next generation of nurses. Whether you have spent your entire career in nursing or are just a few steps ahead of those you mentor, you can make a difference. Fortunately, I have met many more mentors than cannibals, and each of those mentors has played a part in making me the person that I am today. I am forever grateful for the mentors in my life. So I would invite you to take action. First, reflect on the mentors you have had, both traditional and non-traditional. Second, reflect on those you have mentored. And finally, third, if you're not presently in a mentoring relationship, 1, find a mentor, and 2, find someone for you to mentor. That's a wrap on this week's episode. I hope you found it inspiring. If there's somebody that has mentored you that you would like to thank, why don't you send them this podcast episode and let them know the important role they've played in your nursing career. We would love it if you'd leave a rating and review. It really helps others to find the podcast. And remember, you can reach me at hello@thestayathomenursepodcast.com. See you next week.